So today I'm wearing my Constellation shirt, and if you have read The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by author V.E. Schwab, then you will know what I'm referring to. You might also kind of have a little bit of a glimpse by looking at this beautiful cover right here with the stars right in front of the freckles and the gorgeous gold print on here. This is my first book that I've read by this author, and I definitely have a new favorite now. I also have a darker shade of Magic on my shelf, which has also been on my TBR list for a while, much like this one. And now after reading this, I look forward to reading that. So without further ado, let's dive into a review of Addie Larue. A brief warning here, if you have not read the book and you don't want it spoiled, I will be delving into spoiler territory as far as themes go, things that I may have liked and disliked about it, and who I think this book is for. So first off, a brief synopsis of Addie Larue. It's about a woman who makes a Faustian deal with the devil after wanting to escape her old life in the village of Villeneuve-sur-Sarthe, France in the 1760s. So this is a historical fantasy novel with a romance plot as well. It contains beautiful, full prose, very atmospheric settings, and it is character focused. As far as further into the premise goes, after Addie makes her deal with the devil, she discovers that living forever and being free has its consequences. Whenever she walks into a room and walks out, as soon as she is gone, she is forgotten. No one remembers her. Even her own family and friends, everyone that she knew and grew up with, they've all forgotten her. It's a very, very tragic kind of place to be as far as this opening. We really sympathize with her struggle. It makes living day to day hard. She can't have a bank account. She can't really fall in love and sustain a romantic relationship. She can't have a community or friendships. Life is tough living on your own forever. And I love this theme. I was drawn to this theme because I actually have a short film where I address something similar. My film was about a young girl who wanted to get her father back so badly after losing him tragically, and she found a way to live forever but realized that it may not have been worth it. It kind of wrecked her life. So this kind of covers the complexity of, mortality versus immortality as humans. What does it mean for us? Is it worth it? And at what cost will we pursue it? Just very good long-standing themes. Another theme about this is freedom. I think I covered freedom a little bit a second ago, but having the freedom to live your own life, it sounds amazing, right? Is being free as great as it sounds, or with nothing to keep you grounded or checked, does it lead to a fruitless and lonely life? I love that this book explores these complexities very well. I love that the author addresses several situations in which this curse can be an imposition on Addie. I love that we have the breaking up of the different time periods. We go back and forth between Addie's early life in history in France. We see some historical events through her eyes. We also see her in the modern day. So we have both of these connections to her, which I really thought was a great way of breaking up this kind of fuller, character-driven, slower prose. Another theme of this book is wanderlust. Addie keeps living for over 300 years by the time we meet her in this book. We have this shadow looming over her of, when are you going to give up? When are you going to stop living, says the devil in her ear. And she finds ways to keep pursuing and keep going. And one of these ways is by kind of having a renewed sense of wanderlust. She sees things over and over again from a different way, maybe through another person's eyes, but having this renewed sense of wonder for things of beauty, particularly art, that kind of gives her a sense that life is worth living. People are worth knowing, even if they don't know me, and even if I can't leave a legacy, which leads me to my next theme, which is that Addie Larue seemingly has no legacy to leave behind. And as you will see with the complexities of her curse, and this is another part of the spoiler, is that she does find ways to leave impressions on people, whether that be, just feeling that they know her, feeling that she's a familiar presence, to having someone paint her and having the painting glow blurry because of the curse, but still making that blurry impression. Or same with the photograph. She leaves that blurry kind of essence behind. People wonder, who is she? There was someone there. And I love that because as people, there's really no way not to leave a mark. We were created for a purpose, and there's really no taking that purpose away. I think I've covered all the themes. So let me get into what I really liked about this book and what I thought could have maybe been improved upon. What I liked was the beautiful character development, seeing things through a historical lens a little bit. I love the breaking up of the time periods and getting to kind of jump around and explore. On the flip side, sometimes I don't always like that because I like to kind of keep the focus around one situation and I'm interested in it, and if it gets cut, I'm like, oh, now I gotta read through this to get back to that. So there was a little bit of that with this book, but it wasn't jarring, and some chapters are very short. It comes back to it pretty quickly. What was kind of risky, I thought, by the author, but actually what I liked was introducing this other character, a la Henry, which is a romantic interest in the book and someone who has something different about him in terms of anyone else that Addie Larue who's known. Into spoilers again, we find out that he is actually under his own curse. He is able to remember her. I love this little mystery of, does he remember her, does he not? And then finding out, oh my gosh, he has his own past over here with what he's experienced, and he's actually been through something similar. So I liked exploring a different side of a curse through another person. I thought it was a clever way of breaking it up, and I thought that it really brought the ending to full fruition. A lot of people didn't like the ending, I think, from what I read. I read a couple different reviews and watched like a video or two. I think some people had criticisms over the ending. I will just say that I loved the ending. I loved the element of sacrifice at the end. After Addie Larue has known this man, finally meets someone that she can fall in love with and she connects with. I've been wanting this for her the whole book, and she essentially has to give it up because we find that, you know, Henry's maybe going to have something happen to him. Can't really say specifically because of YouTube, and also for spoilers. But the fact that she has lived this full life and he has such limited time, and experiencing both sides of this through him and through her, like the longevity of living, the short breath of life, and her making the ultimate sacrifice in the end to make his life better. I think that's a beautiful way. It is a tragedy in that way, not so much a romance, despite the romantic themes. But I think that that was a very good ending to Addie's story. And there is a glimmer of, you know, she's not gone, she's still living, and she's now remembered by Henry, who has given her the gift of this legacy, and he's also given him the gift of life. I thought that was a beautiful way of bringing the ending together. It felt very satisfying for me because let's be honest, like, there's some things that Addie does in her life that make her a bit of a selfish character. She's definitely flawed, and we love a flawed character. So leading into the sacrificial notion after having living a life that's, you know, it's mine, now to release it and to save someone else, I think it's a beautiful and also essential element of any kind of heroic figure. And that makes Addie a hero in my eyes. So lastly, who this book is and isn't for. I think this is, like I said before, I think this is for people who love very slow, full prose, very character focused, and who don't mind like a very kind of thick novel. At times, I read Jane Eyre last year, so I love things like that, just a very slow exploration, a very, you know, full look at someone's life all around. It's a very difficult thing to write to maintain interest, and I think that the author did it well. Who I think this isn't for, right off the bat, I don't think this is for anyone who isn't an adult. There's nothing really overly jarring in here at all, but I think that if you're under like 21 or 23, maybe this book isn't for you. There's some things that you may not get. That's just my personal opinion. I can't tell anyone what to do, but I don't think this book is for people that don't love long, kind of slower prose, or people that are maybe a little younger, because there are some older themes in here. That's just, again, my opinion on that. But overall, I really like this book. I'd probably, if I had to rate it, I'd give it about a 4 out of 5, because there were a few things in here, like with the full prose, even though I liked that. It could have been a little shorter. I like that it broke up times between Addie Larue's past and present and different characters, but I also do find that jarring sometimes, especially if there's a section that I'm like really interested in. So yeah, that's it. That's my take on Addie Larue. What are your thoughts? Did you like this book? Have you read it? Let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.